You're listening to Talking Tech every Tuesday from 7 on Midlands 103.
Midlands 103.
Welcome back to Talking Tech, and now AIT lecturer Denis McCarthy joins us to talk you through the various digital TV options. Denis, thanks for joining us this evening.
Thanks, Aisling.
Now, there's been a lot of talk lately about SareView and this new Irish digital TV service. What does it mean for us at home? We know it's already been partially launched, but for the moment, if you want to get set up on it, what do you need to do?
Okay, I suppose what you need to get set up is start at the top. You need your aerial.
Okay.
Okay, most people have their aerial. If you're getting your TV RTE and RT2 just via an aerial at the moment, then if you can only get RT1, RT2 and TV3, that means your aerial is fine. You don't have to buy a new one. If you get RT1, RT2 and TG Cahir, it's fine as well. Your aerial is just pointing the wrong way. Mm-hmm. Or if your aerial can get just RT1, RT2, that means you have to buy a new aerial.
So if you've got 1, 2 and 3, you're grand.
You're grand.
If you've 1, 2 and 4, you've the right aerial, but it's the wrong direction.
Wrong direction.
But if you've only got 1 and 2...
it's the wrong area.
You have to go shopping.
It's go shopping. Now, I picked one up in, I think it was Aldi or Lidl for €20.
Okay.
And I installed it myself.
Right.
It's pretty easy to install. And like where I live, I'm in a very bad, weak reception area. I couldn't actually get RTE at all via an aerial. Okay. And I was actually able to install mine in the attic.
Right.
And still able to pick up perfect digital television.
Now, something I will admit, it irritates the hell out of me. SareView means Freeview, and it's not free to set it up. So how much money are you talking about?
Okay, if your aerial is okay, the maximum it's going to cost you is about €50.
Right.
If this is installing all yourself. Mm-hmm. As I said, the aerial costs you 20. So 20 for the aerial, maybe 50 for a set-top box, that's €70. Is the maximum you're going to have to spend.
Okay.
You can buy your set-top boxes from Argos. There's a great company here actually locally in Portarlington.
Okay.
Their website is www.tvtrade.ie.
Right, we'll put that up on the Facebook later this evening.
And for some more details as well. They will do all your different combinations you want for you. So what you need to look out for these set-top boxes is they've all got these digital tuners in them. So you have to make sure you've got the right digital tuner. Okay. So for SareView, it needs this thing called MPEG-4. It's a standard for encoding satellite transmission, for digital transmission. So it's MPEG-4. And sometimes when you're looking at TVs or these decoders, it doesn't tell you. So you really have to try and look at the specifications for these. The Freeview, which is the kind of the British version, they use the MPEG-2 version.
Right.
So there's MPEG-2 for the British, MPEG-4 for the Irish. So there's different versions. Now you can buy combo decoders, which actually do both. So you have the aerial, the cable coming in from your aerial for your SareView. You have your cable coming in from your satellite dish for your Freeview British one. So you can get all the channels, all the digital channels on the one box. Right.
And as far as installing it is concerned, is there much actual work in the house to be done? Do you need to go up in the attic for this? Or?
Well, the biggest work is if you have to install a new aerial. If you don't have to install a new aerial, it's literally just plugging your aerial feed in from upstairs, there at your TV, and plug it into this box. And it'll automatically tune everything for you. So technically there should be no work for you. It's just follow the step-by-step instructions on screen.
So you shouldn't need someone to come out to the house to give you a hand?
You shouldn't, no. Okay. There's one thing that the SareView say is that they have no agents themselves going around installing the aerials or putting set-top boxes. There has been reports of some bogus people trying to do this. Okay. So RT or SareView do not have any agents themselves.
So if you want to find out about that, best bet to contact SareView.
What they recommend actually is contact, ask your friends who's an installer, who installed your aerial and so on. That's the best way to actually go around it. Local people. Okay.
And that company in Portarlington again, who are they?
They're tvtrade.ie, and they will. One thing I found about them is they're very honest in the fact that when they describe the different products, they will tell you all the pros of them, but they also give you the cons. And they'll actually compare them against different products that they have as well. And they'll say if a manufacturer is good or not. So I looked at them and I thought they're actually quite honest in what they're trying to sell you as well.
And I know AIT are not giving you any bonus payments for mentioning the company either.
No, they're not. No bonus payments and no free TV or anything like that.
Now, Denis, at home I have Sky, neighbours have UPC. Do we need to do anything for our TVs?
Well, no, you don't. You're still going to receive RTE through your UPC or whatever cable company you have or Sky. What SareView offers is digital, and let's say currently the Rugby World Cup is on. RT2 is actually in high definition channel. So if you're watching Rugby World Cup, you get everything in high definition.
Okay.
You also get extra channels like RT+1, you get an RT Junior, and there's also RT News. Proposed for the future, you have an RT Oireachtas,
Yes.
where you can watch your TDs heckle each other. Or you also have, there's going to be one sponsored by the Irish Film Board, a film channel.
Okay, something similar to Film 4 in the UK. Or,
Exactly.
Okay.
But the main thing is, these will not be available on your cable or Sky.
So while we'll still be able to get our RT1 and 2 and TG Cahir, if you want the extra, the new services.
New services, you have to go on this area, get your aerial in.
And now, how does that work? If you've got a UPC box with the TV or a Sky box at the moment, and you need to get this other SareView box or a decoder, how complicated is that to install?
Well, it depends on what cables you got inside there.
Okay.
Like if you got your Sky box at the moment, you have a cable coming down from your satellite into your sitting room. Mm-hmm. If you have if otherwise you're going to need a spare cable coming down to get the actual reception in there. And the same with UPC, they have their own cable coming in. So you'd actually need an ordinary RT aerial with a cable coming down to get this. So you need to have an extra cable. So you might have to get an installer to do it.
Right, okay, so it might take a little bit more effort. But
might be more after, yes.
will it cost that much bit more money? Or
depends on who you're going to get to do it for you.
So if you have a handy neighbour, perhaps.
Handy neighbour could do it for free, or it's going to anything up to €100 or something like that.
Right, okay. So maybe just to look into it before you actually start off doing this.
Exactly, yeah. And if you don't want to get the actual decoder box, you can actually buy TVs with this actual decoders inside them. So what you have to look for is make sure, as I said it before, make sure it has an MPEG-4 tuner for the SareView. You can also get TVs with MPEG-4 and MPEG-2 for the SareView and the FreeView, the British channels.
Right.
The one thing you must look out for as well is MHEG-5, MHEG-5. This is kind of the multimedia for doing your teletext, your digital teletext.
Okay.
I know if you do you do your red button services and all, how it's way more interactive versus your teletext, your normal Airtel. Mm-hmm. So RTR is actually producing or sending out the signal in MPEG-5 for the new Airtel service, the digital service for it. So it's a lot more interactive. You can show videos on it and so on.
Right, okay.
So MPEG-5, MPEG-4 and for just the SareView, and MPEG-2 if you want to get the FreeView one as well.
Right, okay. So just to make sure that the decoder has the MPEG-5 as well, or the MHEG-5.
MPEG-5, yes. Like one of the TVs there, like as for cheap, if someone's looking to upgrade, if they've just an ordinary big massive TV inside their sitting room and they want to upgrade, like cheapest one I've looked at and found would be is a make called Hansbury. They're a German company.
Yeah, I've seen them all right.
And for a 32-inch, you can get it with full HD with the MPEG-5 and the MPEG-4. It's about €280.
Right.
And that was in Extravision.
Okay.
And it's great value for a 32-inch full HD TV.
It is all right. And I know that with, say, brands like that, I know in my own house, certain brands are purchased when it comes to electronic products and wouldn't be seen dead buying something like Hansbury or Blue Diamond or something that you mightn't be that familiar with. But what's the quality like? Okay,
the quality on these are roughly the same. Look, for us, it's perception, what you see in front of the screen. We can't really tell the difference. Our eyes can't see the difference. One of the biggest things the manufacturers do when you see in the products is the contrast ratio. This is how the difference between the blackest black on a TV versus the whitest white. So how they do it from the testing point of view, how they get the figures. Sometimes the figures go, say, on your spec sheet says it's 4,000 contrast ratio or 1 to 60 or 1 to 2 million. You're saying the 1 to 4,000 must be bad versus the other ones. Mm-hmm. But really what they do is they get the blackest black or the power coming out, they turn off the television. So there is no light coming out of it.
Right.
And then to get the whitest white, they actually force all the power through one pixel on the screen.
Okay.
So it gets the whitest white, and that's how they get the massive contrast ratios. But the limiting factor here is your eye. When you're looking at the actual television, it can only see a contrast ratio about 1 in 4,000. So you can't, if it's 60,000, you're not going to notice the difference. Your perception is not going to be any different. So, okay, I know on, say, the non-HD TVs, you'll be watching the US Open tennis, and you'll see the court, and it's bright blue. But you'll notice when you go into the HD, you notice the colour difference. The colour difference there is better versus your normal analog TV.
But then when you're in the HD itself, between what figures then is there much of a difference?
But once you're from your eye is your limiting factor when you're watching TV. Once it's over 4,000, it's fine.
Okay, so you don't need to look for something massive.
Massive, no, because you're not going to notice the difference. Manufacturer says it's going to be brilliant, but for you looking at it, it's not going to make a difference. Your eye is the problem.
Can I be cynical here? Is this an attempt to get people to spend a bit more money, saying, oh, well, this one's got 10,000?
Well, it is. Let's be quiet. They're trying to sell the product. There's a massive market out there for it, a whole lot of different operators and manufacturers, and they have to distinguish between the different ones. So by putting something like, I've got a contrast ratio of 1 in a million and so on in the background, it just makes it different. It makes it stand out from the competitors.
Okay. And then the likes of, say, the new services that RT are offering, what kind of quality? Are they in HD at the moment, or how is it working?
The only one that's in HD is RT2 currently, and they're trying to do all the sports are going to be in HD, and as much content they're going to get, they put in HD as well. The idea is that the rest of them will go to HD in the future.
Right, okay.
I suppose for people to know that for the Saviour service, your analogue service at the moment is going to be switched off at the end of next year. So at the end of 2012, if you haven't got switched over, it's going to be actually gone. Your TV's going to be gone. You have no channels.
So you have to get looking at it now if you want your TV.
Look at it now. Now, there's some people, they say by the end of next year they should have about 98% of the population covered with using these aerials.
Okay.
What they're going to look at then for the other 2% of the population is a thing called SareSat via a satellite system.
Right.
Now, there's not much information at the moment, but effectively you cannot use your actual Sky dish to get it in. You have to get a new dish for it, from what I've been reading about it.
So that could cause problems if you're living in a housing estate or an apartment block where you're not allowed to have a Sky dish.
Yes, it could cause problems there. Like, think about this, the digital signal is that you can actually get inside the house. So sometimes within an apartment block you could actually have a rabbit series, a special digital rabbit series to pick it up as well.
Okay. So just to wrap up then this evening, the Fairview service, you have to do something within the next 12 months.
Yes.
And it shouldn't cost too much money.
No, it shouldn't, no. €70 is about the cheapest you get it for. That's installing yourself.
Okay, right. And if you do need any advice on it, you've got Sairview.ie, the actual official one, has lots of information and videos on how to install and tune in your television for it and tune in the decoder box, everything. And then there's a company in Port and tvtrade.ie.
You're listening to Talking Tech every Tuesday from 7 on Midlands 103.
Midlands 103.